we talk about the independence of judiciary, today in our country, the only arm of government that is independent across Nigeria is only the executive. Legislature and judiciary, they are not independent. Because if you want to determine, even maybe to some extent, maybe the legislation, but judiciary, you'll recall that President Buhari signed an executive order for the autonomy of judiciary. It will happen, state governors all rally round to oppose it. They don't want the independence of that arm of government. And when you want to determine the independence of any arm of government, you look at the mode of appointment, you look at the issue about funding, particularly funding, which is an instrument of control. We really do not have that at the moment. And that is why you also find that, giving an example of Nigeria, with what we are going through in terms of our disappointment with my own constituency, is the fact that if you look at the issue about reform, what else are you talking about reform again? As we speak today, I can confirm to you, from 2010 till when I left office and up to this moment, we have processes and procedures to address historical challenges of election service delivery in our country. By the virtue of the 2022 Act, for a period of 23 years, most of those provisions that have been used to rig election in the past were all addressed in the 2022 Electoral Act. INEC, before we left office, out of the 153 provisions that you have in the current 2022 Act, INEC made a proposal of 91 provisions, out of which 48 were accepted in the current Act. But what did the judiciary do? From the primary process, it was very clear that my constituency and all Nigerians who listen to me, all through the period of mobilizing the country for the 2023 elections, I was always talking about my constituency, saying that, look, for a credible election in our country, for a sustainable democracy, you require the trinity of the three. One, the election management body. Two, security agency. And three, and perhaps far more important, is the judiciary. But what happened? The judiciary destroyed the process for the moment of the primary process. Because when we saw the attitude of the court, painfully, with the apex court, it's very clear. And I'll give you a few examples of that. Now, you see, the first stage, or one of the stages, very critical, was issue about party primaries. To deal with the issue of internal party democracy in Nigeria, the 2022 Act took care of that. Section 84, subsection 1 was very clear as to the fact that they must conduct party primaries. And section 29, if you are to submit the names and you want to sponsor for election, those people must pass through what we call primary by virtue of section 29 of that act. To complement that, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, because all pre-election matters now are the party primaries and all of those things and all that, they have to go to the Federal High Court. The Honorable Justice, the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, issued what he called practice direction for the speedy determination of those matters before elections, and brought a new innovation to the effect that anybody who is aggrieved with the outcome of the political primaries, you commence that process by way of what we call originating summons. That is to say that you don't need to call witnesses, because of the fact that once the document showing how it was conducted, particularly when somebody was video and all of that, it will not be necessary. That also complements section 137 of the Act itself. to the fact that where there is a complaint of non-compliance, once the original or the certified copy discloses that allegation of non-compliance, you don't need to call oral evidence, because witnesses were strategy to either compromise witnesses during the primary, whatever, and all that, or the model will disappear, and that will stop the whole thing. Okay. But this is what the court did. So all the people that filed who were aggrieved out of their party primary in the country, they filed that process as required by law, written law, the party direction, that by way of originating some law does not require what they call witnesses. What happens? From the Federal High Court, Court of Appeal, all of them agreed. But when it got to Supreme Court did look at the merit of all people who came to the court for justice. What did Supreme Court do? Supreme Court, on a technical ground, that you approach this court by way of originating summons, which was correct according to the party direction. But no, it should have come by way of writ of summons that you need to call witnesses. So the Supreme Court of our own country didn't look at the grievance of the people, but went on a technical ground. When that happened, I saw that there was danger ahead. And that also followed other subsequent interpretations, right, all of which do not accord with the spirit of the law. And that is where I feel that for democracy to survive in Nigeria, we must be very careful. Judiciary must be ready and do what the English courts did to safeguard democracy in England, in America, because the backbone of the American democracy is because of the judiciary. Hardly will any issue arise that will not be determined.